All right, Devin Haney calling out Lomachenko on some ducking and says, hey, man, you cannot be the unified champion without me. And he specifically points out the fact that Vasily Lomachenko requested the franchise championship, which in my mind makes that a duck. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And also, I want to say a special thank you to everybody that supports in the live streams and everybody that supports in the Patreon. Make sure that you come to the OG Boxing Talk Sunday morning with my co-host, Blood Boxing, KQKC Boxing, Trap House Boxing, and Curtis Anderson. You're going to love the show. Really, really great conversations go on there in the chat. Let's talk about it. Make sure you show up. All right. Now, Vasily Lomachenko flat out ducked Devin Haney. When Devin Haney, in an interview, said that he knew that it was Vasily Lomachenko's team that requested a franchise championship, that, my friend, is a duck. The franchise championship allows you not to fight your mandatory. That is the most important distinction, or the benefit that belt bestows upon the person that holds it. And it was exactly what was done to Canelo Alvarez and Jermall Charlo. Vasily Lomachenko, by requesting that franchise championship, is officially on the records for ducking Devin Haney. Devin Haney was 100% correct also in saying that Lomachenko cannot be the undisputed champion unless he fights Devin Haney, which means, in the way that I see it, is that Lomachenko's team thought it was more important to avoid Devin Haney than it was to become the undisputed champion. That is a lot of weight. That is a lot of weight on avoiding Devin Haney. So it's not looking good for him in that regard, man. Now, Devin Haney, the reason why I think that he did it because Devin Haney possesses some things that Vasily Lomachenko doesn't want to see in a ring. 3 things specifically. He has youth, he has foot speed, and he has confidence. Confidence that he can beat Vasily Lomachenko. And those are 3 things that Lomachenko has not faced in his career. Somebody with the youth, somebody with the foot speed, and somebody with the confidence and the style to beat him. If you look at everybody Vasily Lomachenko has fought to date, they have been somebody that is missing one of those things, with the exception maybe of Gary Russell Jr. However, Gary Russell Jr. does not have the type of foot speed and the use of that foot speed that Devin Haney has. If you look at the Orlando Salido fight that he lost, youth was on the side of Vasily Lomachenko. Speed was on the side of Vasily Lomachenko. Vasily Lomachenko had almost every conceivable advantage over Orlando Salido, with the exception of professional fighting experience. With Gary Russell Jr., he had a size advantage. He had a size advantage. He had a style advantage because he was bigger and longer, and they're both high volume punchers. Vasily Lomachenko was able to use his reach and length on Gary Russell Jr., but Gary Russell Jr. is not the type of fighter that is going to move around on the outside, stay out of range of Vasily Lomachenko, get back inside of range on Vasily Lomachenko. And at that time, Vasily Lomachenko and Gary Russell Jr. are about the same age. When they fought, Vasily Lomachenko was 25 or 26 years old. I think it was his 3rd official professional fight. That maybe he was 26 years old, somewhere around there. Now at 30, in 2000, that was roughly 2014. Now it's 6 years later. You're looking at a 31-year-old Vasily Lomachenko. Vasily Lomachenko when he fought Nicholas Walters, he didn't have a confident fighter in Nicholas Walters. He dang sure didn't have a fresh fighter in Nicholas Walters. Nicholas Walters hadn't fought in a year. And the fight that he did have a year before was a draw against a guy in Jason Sosa, Jason Sosa's pretty much a journeyman, not novice, obviously, but a journeyman second tier level fighter. That was the case with Nicholas Walters. In the case of Guillermo Rigondeaux, you had a guy that was coming up 2 weight classes. Somebody also that didn't have, I don't believe he really had the confidence that he could beat Vasily Lomachenko because of the size difference. I think he was just pretty much in there for the paycheck. But same thing with Jorge Linares. Same thing with Pedraza. These guys are, first of all, I don't think they're the level of the talent that Devin Haney is. But this particular fighter, Devin Haney, is somebody that is almost from what I can see, is a textbook example of somebody that they don't want to put Vasily Lomachenko in the ring with. Vasily Lomachenko's speed and angles if that whole conversation about how incredible the southpaw speed and angles, the activity level is very reminiscent of what they said about Manny Pacquiao. And Manny Pacquiao came up against a fighter that could stay on the outside, time Manny Pacquiao on the way in, who had better foot speed than Manny Pacquiao. He lost. And that was Floyd Mayweather Jr. I believe that the same thing would be the case with Vasily Lomachenko and Devin Haney. Devin Haney, at this point in his career, he has the speed, the foot speed to stay on the outside of Vasily Lomachenko and make Vasily Lomachenko come to him. If you look at the fights with Vasily Lomachenko and Campbell, if you look at especially when Luke Campbell was in trouble during the last fight, when he got hurt by Vasily Lomachenko, what Campbell did was Campbell just moved out of the way. He just moved far enough across the ring where Vasily Lomachenko had to move forward to him, and he was able to move. He was able to use his foot speed on the outside to stay away from Vasily Lomachenko and prevent him from being knocked out. The same thing occurred in the early rounds for Miguel Marriaga when Miguel Marriaga got hurt early in that fight and started staying on the outside. You saw Vasily Lomachenko do things like walk up to the back, put his backs up against the ropes and wave him in. I personally believe that that's because Vasily Lomachenko does not like somebody to be right there for him so that he can be inside, counter their punches, right, change angles on them. But then if somebody takes that away from him, which Jorge Linares did, and Luke Campbell did it by not really committing to their punches. As soon as they did that, Lomachenko changed into his plan B, which is start pursuing them, right? Walking them pretty much straight, walking right to them and trying to make it a brawl. He managed to knock down 2 fighters by doing that. He managed to knock out Jorge Linares by doing that, knock down Jose Pedraza and knock down, I believe he also knocked down Luke Campbell in that after they had refused to, really commit to punches and allow him to switch angles on them freely, they started walking him down. But they don't have the type of foot speed. They don't have the type of hand speed and the combination of foot speed, hand speed, and power and youth that Devin Haney has. Devin Haney, I believe, will stay on the outside from the beginning with Vasily Lomachenko. And he has the ability, because of his youth and his conditioning, to do that the whole fight and pretty much just pick apart Vasily Lomachenko. And I believe that if he picked him apart later on, if Vasily Lomachenko gets fatigued, Devin Haney also has the ability to fight inside, come inside, and start going to him towards the later rounds. I think that that's what the matchmakers for Top Rank C And that's why they requested the franchise championship. And that's why Lomachenko ducked Devin Haney. And and one of the reasons why I was just absolutely positively not happy with the WBC for allowing Lomachenko to do that. Same way I was upset with them for allowing Canelo Alvarez to get out of that fight with Jermall Charlo. When you do that, you steal the moment of grandeur from that fighter that can propel that fighter. If Devin Haney was able to do what I think he can do against Vasily Lomachenko, and obviously the matchmakers from Top Rank are worried about, if he was able to do that, that vaults Devin Haney into being, a legitimately considered one of the best fighters in the world, and he can move up in weight and take advantage of that. But he'll never get that opportunity with the way that he won't get that opportunity with the way that the WBC went about that. However, I like that Devin Haney pointed out something that's very true. They also took away from Lomachenko the fact that him being able to be the undisputed welterweight champion, lightweight champion of the world. Though, if he's able to beat Richard Comey or the winner of Richard Comey, Teofimo Lopez, look, man, they're going to call him that anyway. ESPN will just call it that anyway. ESPN is already keeps putting up, and they didn't do it once. They've done it twice that I've seen, put up Vasily Lomachenko's record as being undefeated. They're also making up lineal championships in top #1 boxing positions for Tyson Fury. So I don't doubt that they would just try to pitch that anyway for Vasily Lomachenko. But the whole thing, in my opinion, is just a big shame. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section about that. And with that, I'm out. Peace.